time, everybody, and welcome back to 20 Pages. Shem here. It's been a while since I posted my last video. In fact, it's only been about a week. However, a week seems like it's been forever. And the reason why it took me about a week to post today's video is because I've been working on pretty much re-upping the last videos. I pretty much just changed the thumbnails on them and try to make it more appealing to the audience to actually click on and be interested in what it is. And I changed the titles of them. On top of that, I worked on some stuff for Instagram. So I've been pretty busy. So I've pretty much put videos on the side, and I've been focusing on pretty much the operational things of 20 Pages. But without further ado, let's get on to the next book. The next book that we have is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book is truly amazing. I love it. Honestly, this book has definitely changed my life. It's definitely opened my eyes and it taught me how to be more of myself, more of enjoying every moment and not being so nervous about everything else. It's kind of just like, it's really kind of just goes down the line like, stop giving a fuck and live your life and enjoy everything. And kind of just stop thinking. Just stop thinking and start doing. That's kind of why I really love this book. Is because it kind of goes into that point of start doing, stop thinking. Or I should flip that around. Stop thinking and start doing. It's an amazing book. It really is. I definitely encourage you guys to read this book. It definitely opens your eyes. This book is one of the most sought out books for spirituality to open your mind. And it's really good for business too. And honestly, in your daily life too. So that's why I incorporated it into 20 pages. Now, breaking down the first 20 pages, just like every other book, there's so much good content in it, and it's so hard to pull out the best points out of it. But I believe these 3 points are the best points. So let's get right into it, guys. First point being is, the truth is already within you. Now, in The Power of Now, it is super, super, super important to know how this book is structured. The way it's structured is pretty much Eckhart Tolle pulls out the truth that is already within you. You are aware of it, but not aware of it. I should say it's there, but you subconsciously don't pay attention to it until it's brought up. And that's exactly what Eckhart Tolle does. He sees what is within you and he extracts it and puts it out like on a board so you can see it and start interpreting it and start being aware of your surroundings. And that is like one huge reason why I super, super love this book, is because it really just pulls out like social norms and kind of makes you flip a different lens on to see a whole different perspective. Now, that being said, the way this book is kind of structured is Eckhart Tolle pretty much goes through pulling out these things that are deeply rooted into you and kind of brings it to light and tries to change your mind and he tries to get you to look at it through a different perspective. That being said, there's also questions that are asked from like common, I could just say it's common. He does seminars and whatnot, and he collected all these questions throughout his seminars and he put them in his book. And these are really common questions that kind of like, it's kind of like devil's advocate. They're kind of playing against his philosophy, and he always counters it with like solid facts and proof of like how you shouldn't be thinking like that anymore and you should be thinking about it this way to live a happier life. And that's pretty much what The Power of Now is. It's pretty much trying to get you to live a happier life, a life that you feel fulfilled doing your day in and day out tasks. But going back to the actual point, the first point, the truth is within you already. It's true. Everything that you already know about spirituality or whatever it is, and just to live a happy life, is already instilled within you. The problem is that it's deeply rooted within you and it's hard to get out. And that's what Eckhart Tolle does. He pulls it out and he knows how to pretty much get you to look at life through a different perspective. Like, for example, the whole idea of enlightenment, which we'll go on to the second point in just a second. You kind of already know what it is. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't. If you don't know, just wait till the second point. But the idea of enlightenment is you already have it within you. You have that idea that's already within you. You just have to get it to be somehow extracted out in order to live that enlightened life. So that's a good segue to go into the second point. So what is enlightenment? There's a lot of ways that people teach enlightenment, and in Eckhart Tolle's book, he teaches it differently. It's kind of still the same premise of everyone else. He just kind of looks at it through a different lens. And that's what he kind of teaches in this book too. I forgot to mention a little earlier. Within this book, what's super crucial is to understand that whenever you're reading his book, just think about his philosophies and not everyone else's. Because once you start trying other philosophies and incorporating into this book, you're going to start getting a jumbled up mess and things don't connect and they just don't make sense. So you kind of just want to think about his philosophies and his teachings when you're reading his book. So now going into enlightenment, what he believes what enlightenment is. Actually, before I go into that, because that'll segue nicely to the third point, we'll just do what Buddhism states enlightenment is. So Buddhism pretty much just says enlightenment is pretty much the end of suffering. And whatever that suffering is could be anything. Whenever you're suffering from work, from depression, whatever, whatever the problem is, whatever you're suffering from, as soon as you become at ease and you realize it's there, you start becoming aware of it. Just kind of like in the first point, the truth is already within you. You just have to be aware of it. Once you realize what you're aware of, you start getting a sense of satisfaction, like a relaxation kind of feeling, like this problem exists, but is it the end of the world? No. You got a bunch of other shit on your mind. It doesn't even matter. This thing's puny compared to everything else. And that's exactly the point. That's why I love this book, is because it kind of gets you to think about now, exactly like in the title, the power of now. Think about now. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about yesterday. Think about now. Now is the most important time because you're living right now. Now is the only thing that matters. So that's why you kind of have to, whenever you're in that suffering mode, you have to just kind of take a step back, relax, and just be aware of what your surrounding is and slowly dig yourself out of it. It always starts at awareness. Once you start at awareness, you're only going up from there. Now, Eckhart Tolle's meaning of enlightenment is simply your natural state of felt oneness with being. Now, this is an interesting point, because technically, what is being? And he kind of goes into this. For example, the state of being is already deep within you. Something you can't grasp with your mind. And this is where the first point comes out. The truth is already within you. The state of being is already within you. The thing is, you don't realize it. What the state of being is whenever you are simply at ease. Nothing in your mind is thinking. You're just still. It's like dead silent in your mind. And you're just aware of everything. And everything's great. And this is kind of where meditation comes into play. It's exactly like meditation. When you meditate, you cut out all thinking. And you get into this relaxing state where it's peaceful. There's peacefulness. Which is actually super crazy. Because I was actually frothing the other day. And whenever I was getting up to throw my disc. And I was just took a deep breath. And literally the whole world just went silent. I literally didn't hear anything. And the crazy part is, once I did that, I was throwing these froth discs like a pro. I shit you not. I wish I had it on camera, but it's like the best time I've ever thrown my froth discs, is when I was simply at ease, at peace. And that's simply what this book is about. And that's what I want to give out to you guys, because it's so important and it'll definitely help you live a happier life. Now going to the third point, religion. I'm not going to go too in depth with religion. Really what it comes down to is Eckhart Tolle pretty much mentions religion is they're all kind of grouped into one big bubble, in the sense you all believe in the same thing, the same kind of concept, but you guys just have different ways of believing in it. And what he tries to do is pretty much incorporate all those beliefs into one, and he kind of looks at it from that kind of perspective. But honestly, he doesn't even go too in depth with religion. Let me see, I think I wrote something down here too. Oh, he did mention, though, a lot of people misuse the word God, which is really true. And it's kind of interesting how he dissects this. He mentions that God is a closed concept. For example, whenever you think of God, you kind of already come up with a mental image of Like, for example, an old man with a white beard that's just up there. That's your mental image. It's already closed concept, you know? But now if you look at a different perspective, like the state of being that we just talked about, you don't physically see it, just like God. You don't see it. You don't see any of it, but you believe in it. And being is actually within you that you can actually exploit to the world by simply being yourself. And what this is an open concept. Whenever someone mentions being, a state of being to you, you don't picture anything. It's just being. You're just alive, you know? And that's exactly it. The power of now. You're living now. You're living life at this state of mind. That's all I have for you guys. Hopefully I'm not hitting the 12-minute mark or 13-minute mark on my phone because it's about to die. But this book is going to be fucking awesome. I love it. I'm already loving it. I love teaching this because it really helps you live a happier life. And that's kind of what we're all searching for in life, you know? Happiness. And that's what I want to help you guys find is happiness. That is all I have for you guys today. I'm super excited to actually finish this book with you guys. But without further ado, follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. And please, subscribe on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it, guys. Your guys' support is amazing. As I always say, I encourage you guys to always read. 20 pages a day isn't that much, but what you can learn is a shit ton of information, just simply 20 pages. If you can't even do 20 pages, do 10 pages. It's not that much. You'll still learn a lot out of it. That's simply the only goal and the only movement of 20 pages. That's all I have for you guys today. Take care.